What is one thing that became more clear as you got older? Not everyone is going to like you. Even if you're nice to someone doesn't mean they'd be equally nice to you, or consider you a friend on the same level as you do to them. Be it their problem, or whatever, but some friendships are just one-sided. Don't mix money and friends. My friend's dad once told me I never loan anyone anything that I'm not willing to lose maybe 10 years ago, and I still think about that to this day. My dad also said this to me. Some of the most corny sounding stuff is true. Cliche advice is cliche for a reason. It's stood the test of time. If you duck a couch and come inside of it, don't brag about it. Most people have no ducking clue what they are talking about, myself included. Fake it till you make it really just means fake it till you learned how to pretend you know what you're doing. My entire professional life summed up into one sentence. Daily exercise, even walking, is so important to your health and longevity. It is more effective than antidepressants. Specifically, you should walk/run/bike under natural sunlight. This isn't just hippie nonsense. The research backs it up. Whilst exercise is important to mental health, I recommend not stopping any medication until having a conversation with your doctor. You should treat your mental health as you would any other part of your body. Not just one thing makes you better, it's a collection of positive reinforcing habits, not just one. People don't care about you as much as you think they do. As in, you may think everyone is watching you and will notice if you do something embarrassing, but they are either thinking the same thing about themselves or simply don't give a crap. For the most part, people are too worried about themselves to worry too much about anyone else. Soul of your life. That people you love and people you hate all at some point will disappoint you. Life isn't black and white, but I've learned it's easy to roll with it and forgive them and keep going than it is to hold on to grudges. You don't have to have them in your life anymore, but once I realized people did these things because of their own inabilities and shortcomings, and not because of me, it feels very liberating. That's wise. I agree that we should all take the hurtful feelings from other people into just trying, understanding or forgiveness. Not saying that then we can be the greater one, but at least we can go on and live our life without this blaming ourselves kind of guilt. I'm still working on it, and your words echo. Your perception of the value of time changes as you get older. Yes, I would rather have more time off than more money. You cannot get time back. $5,000 is not a lot of money to have, but so much money to owe. Money came up, and I made the mistake of saying I had $20,000 in my checking account. My friend gasped. We are both around 40. She thought it was a lot of money. I tried explaining, to no avail, that $20,000 is a lot of spend in a store, but you can't do much with it. It isn't buying even a small fraction of a house, maybe a used car. It definitely doesn't change your lifestyle. At most, it's a good emergency buffer to have, especially as time goes on, and I don't have anyone else to rely on. Spending time with family and friends is important. It's hard for me though. They pretty much rejected and left me when I was young, and now they wanna act all buddy-buddy. I understand that those things happen for reasons outside my control, and that I should forgive and forget, but for some reason I still find it very hard to answer the phone when they call. Even worse at family events I'm forced to go to, and I'm the only one in a separate room just sitting by myself on my phone all night. Don't worry buddy, you're definitely not alone on this one. That cutting out toxic people from your life is hard but necessary. Same thing goes for what you allow into your life and to take up mental space. Not only people, but a form of media, or activity, or habit, etc. If it doesn't make you happy, get rid of it. Getting mad while driving isn't worth it. So true. When you see another person about to combust with road rage, you notice how pathetic they look. That your days are truly numbered. Let me add on to this. Last night, a 20-year-old Disney star died in his sleep. I'd say he was successful and had a lot going for him. However, death can and will happen to anyone. It doesn't discriminate. If you want to have friends, you need to be one. Oh man, I know a few people like this. Always complaining that they never stay in touch with people. Always complaining that they never talk to our once mutual friends anymore, though I'm still in contact with them. They don't really want to accept it when I ask if they've tried to reach out. I stay in touch with people because I take the time to call or message or write to them occasionally. You can't just sit around and expect everybody to go out of their way to stay friends with you when you make zero effort to even send them a text to say hi. For some of them, it's now me as well. I stopped going out of my way to message them and set up stuff. Literally never heard from them again. I keep getting older, but I've been done growing up for about 10 years now. I'm 36, but still feel like 26. You have to keep your body in shape though. I have a theory of why old people can be so grumpy or angry. They feel young in their minds, but their bodies are falling apart. I'd be pissed too. I'm 55, and it's weird. I do feel young in my mind, but like you said, stuff stops working as the warranty on your body expires, or there's random aches and pains. Big cognitive dissonance between how I feel in my mind and what I see when I look in the mirror. That's one of the great ironies of life. Why taking good care of your teeth is important. Thanks, gonna brush my teeth now. Get to work, soldier. If you mess your relationship with your parents, it's gonna mess with your peace of mind deep down. Having said that, always prioritize your mental health. It's tricky. My dad died last year. I never got on well with him, just different personalities. For the last 5 years of his life, we didn't talk. Even his presence annoyed the duck out of me. There was no physical or mental abuse. We just didn't get along. When he died, someone told me not speaking to him would be one of the greatest regrets of my life. Truth be told, it's not. In fact, coming up to his first anniversary now, and I realized I lived the past year, just as I did the previous 5, that is, he just wasn't part of it. I keep wondering if sometime I'll just break down and regret my intransigence, but while he was alive I asked myself would I regret it when he was dead, and the answer was no, and still is. Maybe it's the fact that I have more friends than I could possibly wish for, but I always felt capable of leading my life without him being there. Even as I write this, no regrets. Facebook, Twitter and Instagram are detrimental to your mental health. People say this a lot, but I get a lot of genuine pleasure out of social media. To me, the trick is whether or not you use it to actively stay in contact with people or just passively look at it posted by people you don't really like, which depresses you. Use the unfollow button liberally. Pick your fights. You don't need to engage in an argument every time you disagree on something. All adults are little children inside pretending to be adults. Everyone's inspiration to act as an adult is drawn through movies, books, life experiences, and simply observing other adults. On 4th of July I went out with some friends to go see a fireworks display. I haven't done this in years, and before we decided on that I was more than happy to just sit in the bar and get trashed all night. I did not get trashed. Instead I turned into a giddy 5-year-old watching things explode. Adulthood is one giant act we all put on. Money can't buy happiness, but it can rent it for a while. I'd say that money will buy happiness up to a certain point, but as soon as you reach the point where you can pay rent and eat without worrying about the next month, you hit a very steep curve of diminishing returns on any extra money. Having the cost of everything dictate every move you make in life is really depressing, exhausting, and just generally people do not own each other, and they should never feel obligated to stay in any relationship that they are growing bored or tired of. That you shouldn't treat people like they are disposable. They have feelings and baggage that we don't know about. Treat everyone with respect until they prove otherwise. It seems really obvious now, but the idea that you're the only person capable of getting yourself out of the rut you're in, nothing will change until you actually start wanting better for yourself. You don't need to work extra hard to make up for your boss's ups. Even if he tells you you have to, just make sure you document everything and explain it to his boss. That there's no magic code for becoming cool and likable, no right clothes, hairstyle, or attitude. When you're comfortable with yourself, others will gravitate to you. Unfortunately, being comfortable and loving yourself can take some people a lifetime to develop. Bullies really aren't going to matter to you later in life. They're probably more miserable than you, except when you stalk them online later in life and find out they're doing amazing and seemingly happier than you could ever be, living in luxury and just killing it at life.